Hello guys, today we'll be doing a Godzilla X Imposter Scaling for part 4, 1 out of 2, all the way to part 5, 1 out of 4. So for part 4, 1 out of 2, Godzilla X Imposter, Godzilla, he's infinitely more powerful than he was in part 3, and he was able to go toe to toe with Hell Godzilla, and since it's a different cosmology than the Hell Godzilla cosmology, meaning that his feats might just be different here because Hell Godzilla could do something similar to GxI Godzilla, but Hell Godzilla was able to overpower GxI Godzilla when he was going at 0% power. He was able to actually beat him. Hell Godzilla, unlike GxI Godzilla, doesn't just sit around and laugh at his opponents and not even try. Hell Godzilla was going all out. Not all out, but actually trying, while GxI was holding back the entire time. It's just once GxI got a little frustrated, things changed, and he was easily able to beat Hell Godzilla. If they were to fight longer, he would eventually kill Hell Godzilla. So he scales above that. And for more things, in Godzilla X Imposter Part 2 of the Part 4 saga, the Omniversal God, which is weird because he created all of this, and the creator, the guy with the halo, I'll show a picture of him in the video, who basically can create everything. He can create a whole other omniverse. He can create infinite omniverses. The Omniversal God created him. And basically, the Omniversal God's the embodiment of all creation in this Godzilla X Imposter universe, not in all of fiction. That would be really weird. But the Omniversal God is able to just instantly create more of these creators to do his bidding. And this is a big, spoiler warning if you haven't watched any of my other videos, even the Battle Royales, Godzilla vs. Fire Wars Godzilla, MVX Final Wars Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Heisei Godzilla, all of those, this is a big spoiler for basically everything. You see, every time there's a portal that takes a character into a new realm, it's not like it just happens, it's actually the Omniversal God, and let me explain. So the Omniversal God has the ability to bring characters into other realms to fight. And he's doing this just for entertainment, while the creator, who we saw in Godzilla vs. Ava, was able to bring back all of creation, which means Ava Godzilla is probably somewhere with Imposter Godzilla. Yeah, you haven't seen him in a while. He might scale to Imposter Godzilla. He was able to destroy all creation, but not the creator, which we'll have to scale him up below, and we'll get to what the Imposter Godzilla can do later. But the creator was able to snap back off existence easily. And remember, this is an extension of the Omniversal God. So I'm telling you that this feat is pretty insane. But the thing is, he did destroy heaven, hell, the physical realm, everything. Except for the Omniversal God and the Creator. Well, he didn't even touch the Omniversal God. He might have touched his avatar, but his true form is in a void. The avatar just sits around waiting for something to happen until he's needed to maybe erase an infinite timeline, Godzilla, or just destroy stuff, or get rid of unwanted characters, because he has done that in the past to a certain character that we've seen. And it's the reason why one character looks the way he does. Because the Omniversal God is able to corrupt whole entire infinite timelines and destroy them, killing all and corrupting all and disintegrating it, leaving no trace, erasing it from all infinite realities and everything. Every timeline they're erased from, permanently. There's no coming back from that. And Omniversal God has been watching Godzilla vs. Ava and sees him as a threat, but not really a threat, as just a very powerful character. Ava and Godzilla were very powerful and able to destroy everything. And since I'm going to go with that, he had the creator fix up his mess, because Omniversal God created it all. The creator would have to do that. So also, when a character dies, like in all my battle royales and all my death battles, their soul goes up to heaven, where the creator is. And the creator can just bring back certain characters that the Omniversal God wants to see in another fight. So he's basically like a guy who creates everything and just watches his characters fight for entertainment. And some characters, especially Godzilla, hates this. And we saw the first time Godzilla saw the Omniversal God when he came back, he had tried to attack him. Not even the other guys. He did it way before the other guys. For some reason, Godzilla wants this guy dead. And I'll explain that more in Godzilla X Imposter Part 2. in part 3 of the part 5 saga. But for when we get to the creator is slightly stronger than Godzilla and Voidzilla. Voidzilla has the power, basically, he's boundless and also omnipotent / omniversal. He's able to destroy everything, and like we saw in part 1 of Godzilla X Imposter, the first one, and not Godzilla Destroy It, just the Godzilla X Imposter saga altogether. Part 1, part 2, Voidzilla gets more powerful, infinitely more powerful the longer he's in a fight. Godzilla just keeps getting more powerful, which is a massive threat. But even him and Godzilla was able to match a very insanely suppressed Godzilla. Godzilla wasn't able to touch until he knocked his soul out of his body using some Doctor Strange move and erased his soul and erased him from existence, but the two were able to survive that. But even with that, Godzilla was the first one to actually do make GxI Godzilla pissed. They pushed him out of his suppressed state. And even with the help of Godzilla, their beams alone weren't even able to hurt the creator. And here's where GxI Godzilla comes in. This is when things get kind of interesting. Because Godzilla in this was able, when he fired his beam at the Universal God, which, yes, it hurt him. It pierced through his core, his avatar's core, which we all know is much weaker than his true form. We saw it pierce through the core. The Universal God's pissed. So he creates a portal. He turns his core into a portal, which is a vortex that sucks the beam, and he spits out another spot. And what does it do? Hit Godzilla. And remember, his force field doesn't have any special effect. It just blocks everything. It warps things that hit it. Like Godzilla's sword that can destroy infinite timelines and can erase things from existence if used at its potential. That it can be used for that too. And basically able to cut through everything except for GxI Godzilla. This sword deflected and actually warped off it. When the beam, Godzilla X Imposter's beam, hit it, which was already infinitely more powerful than part 4, 2 out of 2 for the infinite spiral heat ray phase 1, which makes his beam infinitely more powerful every time he uses it, and also it stacks. So even when he has to lose the form, because that form has a long cooldown, has like some cooldown, give it like 10 minutes. He just can't spam that form because it's not his true form, burning form. When he's done with that form, the beam, the infinite buff, it stacks on. And it actually can go higher than infinity. It's immeasurable. Like you cannot count how high. It's uncountable how strong his beam can get. Because it just keeps going. And his beam that is already buffed by infinity and stacked on into his form that he isn't involved, can't even pierce his shield. It actually deflects his shield, and we go on to a feat we saw in part 4, 2 out of 2. It's when his beam got infinitely more powerful from the Universal God's force field, was able to pierce right through all dimensions. It literally went through the entire universe. It destroyed right through without any difficulty. And it got infinitely more powerful again and hit Godzilla. He had his shield down and he tanked it. And that is why he had the infinite heat ray